Last week on Wednesday, we reviewed the real number system, in which we talked about how integers are all of the whole numbers, and their opposites. So 0, 1, 2, 3, but then also -1, -2, -3. These are all of our integers, okay? And then continuing on, of course. Okay. So another definition I would like to review real quick is absolute value. Absolute value is when you see those two bars around a number. So say the absolute value of 3 or the absolute value of -5. So when we're asking for the absolute value, we're looking for the distance from 0, really. So if you think of your number line, here's 0, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, there's -5. Okay, so the absolute value of 3 is how far away it is from 0. So it's 1, 2, 3 away from 0. So the absolute value of 3 is 3. The absolute value of -5, again, it's distance from 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is 5 away from 0. Excuse me. So really, a lot of people simplify this to think of absolute value as being the positive of whatever's inside. So this is already positive, so it's 3. This is negative, so we'll turn it positive. It's not the opposite of what is inside the positive value of that. But the technical definition, the real definition, is its distance from 0. Okay, now that we have that reviewed, let's get on to adding and subtracting our integers. Okay, so there's a couple rules to note. The first rule is that, let's say we have 3 plus 3. This is positive, and this is positive. So if the signs are the same, you're going to add them. Okay, so 3 plus 3, 6. Okay, now if we had -4 plus -4, these signs are the same, negative, negative. All right, so we're going to add them. But the answer isn't just 8. Let's think about what negatives are in a real world context. Think of them like borrowing money. You owe someone $4. And then you borrow $4 more. So you owe them $4 more. So how much do you owe altogether? You don't have $8. You owe $8. So when we're looking at these, if the signs are the same, we will add, but we'll also keep the sign, whatever it was. So these were both positive, we're going to keep positive. These are both negative, we'll keep it negative. -7 plus -3. Add 7 and 3 is 10. Keep the sign. Okay? So if the signs are the same, you add those two numbers and you keep whatever the sign was, positive or negative. Okay, but what if they're not the same? What if you have -3 plus 5? Okay, what would that equal? here our signs are different. We're going to subtract. Okay, so -3 plus 5, we subtract. So when we subtract, we always use the biggest one first and take away the smaller one. So again, we're going to ignore the signs for a minute. So let's think, what's 5 minus 3? What is the difference of 5 and 3? That's 2. Okay, but now how do we know if this is going to be a positive 2 or a negative 2? So the rest of our rule is keep the sign of the bigger absolute value. I'm going to abbreviate that. Okay, so keep the sign of whatever number has the biggest absolute value. So this one, the absolute value of -3 is 3. This one, the absolute value of that's a positive 5. Absolute value of 5 is 5. Well, 5 is bigger than 3. 5 is further away from 0 than -3 was. So we're going to keep the sign of the bigger absolute value. So this will be a positive 2. Let's think of that on a number line. Here's our 0. Okay, we started at -3. 1, 2, 3. There's -3 because it's on the left of 0. Remember, when you add 5, you go this way, you go to the right. Let me put out some things here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -1, -2. Okay, so here's our 0. We started at -3, and we do plus 5. 1, 2, 3. Look at that. We're going past 0. We landed at 2. And there's my dog barking at the neighbors. I'm going to have to put up a picture of them so you guys can see Bruiser and Daisy. Okay, so again, if the signs are different, we will subtract them to find the difference because it's going to go across 0. Okay? Maybe. It'll maybe go across 0. Let's look at this one. I don't know why I erased those rules. I guess I'll just have to remind you verbally. Okay, so let's say we have -5 plus 2. Okay, so we owe our parents $5. We paid them back 2. So how much do we still owe them, right? If we're thinking about this as money in real world context, it makes it easier to understand sometimes. Okay, so our rule that I just accidentally erased said that if the signs are different, negative and positive, we will subtract them and then keep the sign of the number that had the biggest absolute value. Okay, so let's subtract these. 5 and 2. The difference is 3. 5 is further away from 0. 5 has the bigger absolute value. Okay, so the 5 is negative, so this is a -3. Think about that again. If you owe your parents $5, you are $5 in the hole, in the red, and you pay them back $2. You're digging yourself out of your hole, right? You're owing them less money, but you only gave them $2. You still owe them $3, right? So that's still negative. What if we have the positive number first? What about 7 plus a -4? Okay, so let's think of it again. Signs are different. We will subtract. 7 minus 4 is 3. We will keep the sign of whichever number has the bigger absolute value. Which number is further away from 0? 7. 7's positive, so this will be positive. No, I did a plus, right? We usually think of positive and negative, you know, like with our batteries. So in math, you don't have to write the plus in front of the positive numbers. It's kind of a given that they're going to be positive. If they're not positive, they're negative, and it will say so. Okay, so again, let's think of it this way. Here's our 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7. -4. Now we are adding. This is negative. You're getting rid of 4. Say you have $7 and you're gonna pay. You're losing $4 to pay for a burger or something. Okay, so you're losing $4. So it is like subtraction. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have $3 left. So that it's like subtraction. That is why our negative and our subtraction sign are the same. Okay. So one last time. If your signs are the same, we add and you keep the sign. Okay? If just put this in a different color to visualize this. It is a separate thing, separate rule. If your signs are different, you subtract, and then you keep the sign of the bigger absolute value of the number that was farther away from 0. All right. If you have any questions, ask me in the comments. I hope this helped clear some things up for those of you who were having trouble with it. Thank you for watching.